Yeah, but I knew once they turned us down at 1,200,000,000 that it was going to go higher than that. I would love to have been part of the ownership. I mean, I would have been a small part. I mean, you weren't talking a ton of money from me. But it would have been nice to have been part of it. And if Magic asked me to be part of the new operation in any way I could, I would help the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers. I think they're intrinsic to baseball. I think it's important that this franchise be healthy. I've done nothing personal against Frank McCourt. He was been in my house for dinner. I spent time with him. But what hurt me the most was I'm buying 6 season tickets a year. I'm paying an average of $350 a seat for 6 seats.
Wow.
And he's buying his 6th house.
And getting a bad haircut.
That annoyed me because I think a baseball team, this is really strange to say this, but baseball was declared by Oliver Wendell Holmes in the Supreme Court a sport and not a business. That may have been a mistaken decision, but it rests that way. Baseball is a sport, not a business. The Marriott Hotel can't have a ruling where you can't open a hotel across the street. You can, but in baseball, you can't. I think the baseball owner is merely renting the team. I think he has a lease with the people. I think he owes it. Sure, he can make a profit, and he can live a nice life, but he owes it to the public to do everything he can to spend it on the team. A Los Angeles team should not have a budget of $85 million. That's a joke. It's a joke. I love George Steinbrenner because, sure, he made money, but he turned it back in. He spent.
He did.
He was willing to go the route, and so that annoyed me. And so I thought that was unforgivable to me. Unforgivable. I think you are leasing a team. You don't own it. You lease it.
Tell me, Larry, growing up in Brooklyn, relate how it was for a kid going to Ebbets Fields with his parents and the ambience and atmosphere there. How was it?
It was nothing like it. It was a bandbox. It was held 34,000. I was at Jackie Robinson's first game. I was 13 years old, sitting up at the bleachers. I felt a part of history. I later interviewed him twice. I found him extraordinary, by the way. There was nothing like the Dodgers. They were in the blood. They were in the skin of the community. As much as the Dodgers are part of L.A., triple it as to what they were part of Brooklyn. Red Barber and Vince Scully, they were the heart and soul of ours. Every day, Red Barber and Moore and Vince Scully started. I remember the Brooklyn Symphony and Hilda Chester. And that even though the Yankees beat us in 4 out of 5 World Series, we're the more famous team. Gil Hodges, Jackie Robinson, Billy Cox, the best third baseman I ever saw in my life, Pee Wee Reese, Gene Hermansky, Duke Snyder, Carl Fiorillo, Roy Campanella, Don Newcomb. Oh, my God, Preacher Rowe. Jesus, was that a ball club. And we loved them. We didn't like them. We loved them. They were part of us. There was nothing like the Brooklyn Dodgers. I hated O'Malley for years, and I was wrong for hating him because I subsequently discovered through books that he had picked out the site where now the Brooklyn Nets will play basketball.
Right.
Yeah,
it was right at the Atlantic Yard. It would have been a great site, but the Parks Commissioner wanted it to be in Queens, and the Dodgers didn't belong in Queens. He wanted it at the site where the Mets are because he saw auto traffic as the traffic of the future, and O'Malley wanted rapid transit. If the Dodgers had moved to Atlantic Stadium out of Atlantic Fields, eventually there would have been a team in Los Angeles. Could have survived both. They didn't have to be a Mets. They could be the Dodgers. If you go to Citi Field, Freddie Wilpon has made that whole rotunda like Ebbets Field.
Wow. I'd be remiss.
Because Freddie Wilpon and I went to high school together, so did Koufax. We all went to Lafayette.
That's amazing. I'd be remiss in not telling you that your old friend Melvin Durslack said to say hello to you. He's living out in
Melvin Durslack, he must be 132 years old.
Actually, Melvin's he's 91 years old. He's in good health, and I didn't realize that he knew you pretty well. He says he's known you for...
That's great to hear. Yeah, I love Melvin Durslack. They don't come like that anymore. No. Those kind of writers, they were just a special group. Shirley Povich in Washington. Yep. their swag here. They were just they were special around. They were around the country. You knew them. People we all knew knew of Dick Young in Brooklyn. When he was just, you talk about a different era.
Don't forget Jimmy Cannon.
Nobody asked me, but
that's right. That's
Jimmy
right.
Cannon wrote a column.
Yeah.
I ate that column in USA Today. I sort of stole the idea from him.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Cannon was he was an eloquent,
Yes, he was.
wonderful writer. So was Arthur Daly at the New York Times.
That's right.
But the best was Red Smith.
Yep.
Red Smith, he was the best,
Tremendous.
in my opinion. I'm sure. I'll bet you talk to any writer of that era would agree.
They would. I agree with you, including Melvin, who looked up to Red Smith a lot.
Oh, Red Smith. They wrote a collection of his columns once, and he called it, I love this title, Strawberries in Winter.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Perfect.
I just love that.
Hey, Larry, listen, thank you so much as always
My
for
pleasure,
the time.
guys.
And
Good
listen,
luck
keep
with
us
this.
keep us informed on what you're going to be doing too. We'll check in with you again in a
I
month
sure
or so.
will. We'll have big announcements coming in July. Hang
Thank you,
tough,
Larry.
guys. Good
Thanks.
luck.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Larry.
Larry King. What do you say but Larry King? That's the guy is, again, he interviewed 50,000 people. I mean, I thought I interviewed
loved his
a lot
radio.
of
Do
people.
you remember his radio show?
Oh,
His
I used to fall asleep
evening
to it
radio
at
show.
night.
Yeah.
On
Was
the
it on
Mutual
KFI?
Radio.
Was it on K? What was it on?
It was on all sorts of different stations, but it was on Mutual Radio Network.
Yes,
And,
it was
a
Mutual.
very,
Is
very,
Mutual
very
still
good.
around, Joe?
It's now Westwood One.
Westwood One.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Jerry West's going to be joining us, another legend, 2 legends in a row. Nice way to start out the first McDonnell Douglas show, live at the Legend Sports Bar here in Belmont Shore in Long Beach, California. And we hope you get a chance during the week to come by and hang out. We'd love to see you and be part of the broadcast. And if you'd like to call in, ask a question, if we have any time left before the end of the show, 209-647-1005, 209-647-1005. And just to let you all know, if you have an Apple device and you're trying to listen, you can't. Apple is a flash product, a non-flash product, and right now we're not equipped to do that. So you do have another way to listen, though. Very simple. Just dial that number I gave you, 209-647-1005, 209-647-1005, and you'll be able to hear the show in its entirety.
And come down here to Legends because Joe has autographed 8x10 glossies to pass out.
No, I don't. Don't come down here for that because you'll be disappointed. But maybe you can come down and beat the hell out of Doug before he walks out of the building. Joe and Doug live at Legends here on Legends Sports Talk Radio Network. We'll be back.